Good morning and welcome to Passioninfluencer Africa. This is Sam again. Throughout our lives, we have been pushed to try to believe that things happen by luck, and I think that is the lazy man's mentality. That don't worry, things happen by luck. So if you're lucky, it'll happen to you. If you are not lucky, then it's past you. It's a method, in my view, it's a method of cultivating state of despair, state of desperation, state of saying, I'm not responsible for my results, so why should I bother? So I went a bit to try to look at equivalence, look at parallels, so that when we talk about this, I have few facts. I always believe that the best way to have discussion, proper discussion, is guided discussion when you have the facts. So I went cross-board, checked books, checked also experiences, and said, is it true that things happen by themselves? Is it true that as astrologists, some of the astrologers would say our fate is cast down, so there's very little we can do about it? And I realized no. Even the astrologers tell you that this thing is just general indicators. The planetary influences over which you are going to make a gain is just a general indicator. At the end of the day, man has a part to play. At the end of the day, we all have every opportunity to turn our fortunes from black to blue, from black to white, just by individual activity. So, apart from my readings and discussions, I was also looking at the scenario of how people persist from one grade to another. And I was asking myself, how comes it two people are persisting in one direction, two people are walking towards one direction, one dedicates energy and it works out, the other one dedicates energy and probably doesn't work out. Why is the difference? I realized a very interesting trend, that if you continuously work towards a certain direction, even on the doubts can come, because some people get the doubts at the beginning, some people get it towards the middle of it. That's the only difference. But the doubts can come. But if you have dedicated your path and said, this is the path I'm following, and probably that is what influenced the thinking of this wonderful presentation of Zig Ziglar. Probably a few of us have had a look at it. It's called See You at the Top. See You at the Top series was a presentation by Zig Ziglar. Was also turned out later to become a book. And Zig Ziglar talks about the railroad. It starts with a story about the railroad. And on the railroad, there are two people, and there are several people working on the railroad, and suddenly the owner or the general manager of the railroad comes in a specially dragged truck, and he's carted over, and he says, Jim, how are you? And one of the workers moves forth and say, I'm fine, and they talk, and they move aside and talk and share, and the other workers then ask him, how comes it you seem to know the top man? He says, yes, I do. He says, how comes it you know him? He's a general manager, you are an ordinary worker, you really talk intimately with him, you know him for a long time. He says, yes, I do. And if you knew him that well, how comes it that you have not been where he is? He says, no, we started with working with him here at the railroad so many years ago. I worked for a penny an hour. Jim worked for the railroad. That's the difference. And then Zig Ziglar continues to say that is the difference. That is what differentiates between the winners and the losers, the winners and the passers-by, the people who came by and did one or two things and passed by. The difference between those ones and the true winners is on who do you serve. Are you serving the dollar? Because if you're serving the dollar, you are casual about it. And as long as the dollar dries out, you are also not interested. But if you are serving the railroad, If you are committed to working for the railroad, not working for the dollar, then continuously you'll be working of it. As you go home, you'll be thinking of it. As you leave, you'll be thinking of it. When you hear part of it is being sold, you'll buy immediately. When you hear property of that railroad is being sold, you'll buy immediately because you are part of it. But remember, the person who works for the dollar will not buy it because he works for the dollar. He's in the railroad, the service, but he works for the dollar. So what happens is that if he hears a situation where some of the shares of the railroad company is being offloaded, he will not buy. He wants the money, so he cannot part with the money. He doesn't need anything to do with the railroad. At the end of the day, one of them owned the railroad, the other one continued to be a worker. They were still happy. They were still great friends, and they lived happily thereafter. I think the gist of this is just to tell us that the most important thing is get your groove, get your direction, get what you want to achieve. When you talk of goals, when you talk of desires, when you talk of everything, it first of all starts to be with your internal compass. Once the internal compass is set, beyond doubt, and probably this is what, not probably, but in reality, this is what we are working towards. In reality, what we are working towards is to create a major purpose, a major chief aim in life. That whatever happens, we don't get swayed around. Today, I just got another affirmation, which is very nice, and probably I'll share it with you. Just someone told me that if you read this for 21 days, you'll start seeing transformation coming through you. I said, we have a wonderful team, so why don't I share it with them? Because as clarity comes to our minds, and as Zig Ziglar's message gets through to us, that there were two people. One worked for the dollar per day. The other one worked for the railroad. So many years down the line, you could see distinct difference. One was still a railroad worker working for dollar per day. The other was the general manager owning the railroad company. But interestingly, they were still friends at personal level. So friends, brothers and sisters, sometimes you don't just be friends. Understand what kind of friends you have. Understand also if that friendship is adding you value, and understand also if you are responding correctly to that situation of friendship. Otherwise, go inside and think. Go inside and think. The affirmation is having a very few words here. Probably I'll repeat it 3 times so that we go and practice it at home, at our destinations. Every day we are talking. Nowadays we're having a word about affirmations, and it's because the 2 or 3 days ago, in our past readings, we were talking about the value of autosuggestion, the impact of autosuggestion, what autosuggestion does. Actually, it's like the subconscious mind is like a sponge. The autosuggestion process is like putting oil. So if you want that oil to be retained, you keep on pouring slightly on the sponge. At the end of the day, you will need it. When the engine runs dry of oil from the other side, you will need this oil. And it will be wonderful for you if you wetted it sufficiently. Autosuggestion just does that. So this autosuggestion is a short one. We'll read it 3 to 5 times, and then we'll leave it at that and proceed with our discussions. It starts, I'm friends with money. Our prosperity consciousness. I realize that I visualize and see the checks coming into my account. I am known as a prosperous individual. My income is always increasing. I'm down here to live in an abundance and life. I trust the timing of the universe. I attract right people, circumstances, and situations that enables me to increase the increment of my income. Prosperity is my nature state. My income is always increasing. My mind is tuned to prosperity. I am friends with money. I have prosperity consciousness. I visualize and see checks coming into my account. I am known as a prosperous individual. My income is always increasing. I am down here to live an abundant life. I trust the timing of the universe. I attract right people, circumstances or situations that enable me to increase my income. Prosperity is my natural state. My income is always increasing. My mind is tuned to prosperity. I am friends with money. I have prosperity consciousness. I visualize and see checks coming to my account. I am known as a prosperous individual. My income is always increasing. I am down here to live an abundant life. I trust the timing of the universe. I attract the right people, circumstances, and situations that enable me increment of my income. Prosperity is my natural state. My income is always increasing. My mind is tuned to prosperity. I am friends with money. I have prosperity consciousness. I visualize and see checks coming into my account. I am known as a prosperous individual. My income is always increasing. I am down here to live an abundant life. I trust the timing of the universe. I track the right people, circumstances, and situations that enable me to increase my income. Prosperity is my other name. My income. Prosperity is my other name. Prosperity is my natural state. My income is always increasing. My mind is tuned to prosperity. Amen. So, such affirmations, we will continue discussing them and not only reciting them, but discussing them. But at the same time, reciting them. Simply because faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. Internally, when we dedicate a moment or two to do such discussions, then we find ourselves moved to the right direction of what we want to be. And the brain, mind works in a simple manner that once you have dedicated a direction for it and persuaded it that there's no other option apart from that way of thinking, then that's the direction it takes in life. The wording of the Zig Ziglar's book or discussion, think or see you at the top. See you at the top. Why? What impelled him to take those words? When reflection, maybe this is a person who was meeting so much obstacles in his life, and the people surrounding him were not very helpful. It's for a person to come to the conclusion that this is the theme of his book. This is the theme of his discussion. It may be that the obstacles were so strong that he realized that he needs something more powerful. He needs something more outgoing in order to come and overcome the current state. Because see you at the top simply means, my brother, I respect my view, you respect my view. I doubt whether you respect my view, but I respect your view. But I have decided to be at the top. And because I know you have assumed that I will not make it there, I'm just warning that is where you will find me. When somebody says such a certain committed statement, see you at the top. When somebody comes up with such a position like, see you at the top, let us meet there, then it clears all doubt. The doubt it starts emerging of when somebody says, let's discuss the issues here, because probably we'll meet there tomorrow, probably depending on whether there is transport, depending on whether there is the road is safe, depending on whether there is goodwill, because sometimes there may be transport, but there is no goodwill. The road becomes treacherous and dangerous. But this is a person who tells you, see you at the top. It means after so many minutes, I will be there. And I trust you and assume you are going to be there alone. So any discussions that we are having right now, can we have a bit of it here, but with the confidence that the rest of it, the majority of it, will be holding at the other end. So the mentality that we have, the mental state that we set for ourselves each and every day as we wake up is very important. We have committed ourselves to a task, and as we go deeper into it, the opponents should just realize that we do not have time for diversion. We do not have time for saying we are turning back, because really we are beyond turning back. We'll do it bare-chested. We'll do it on our feet. We'll do it without clothing. We'll do it without dress-ups. We'll do it without coats, because that is where we are getting to move to. We are taking it as our second nature, an activity that has to be addressed each and every morning, and activity that has to be provided with time each and every day, not because we are doing it for the second person. Remember the story of the railroad and the gold person. The railroad, so and so, the two of them, one says, I worked for the $1 a day. It means the driving energy of this person was, am I going to get paid? And if there were any delays in his salary, believe you me, this would have been the person to start the industrial unrest. If there were any reasons to go on strike or file suit against the railroad company, this was the kind of character who would provide financing for the filing of industrial action, because according to him, he depends on being paid on day-by-day basis. And as long as he's paid on day-by-day basis, things are okay. As long as he is given his portion of payment, whether it's on weekly basis or on monthly basis, that is okay. But the very moment you tell him sacrifice more, he will not sacrifice more. And what happens with life? You ask for a penny, you'll get a penny at the end of the day. It is his responsibility to ask for more. So you find again his, I would like to call him comrade, not partner, because they're totally different, as we have seen from the earlier discussion. That one is the owner of the railroad company, general manager. The other one is a worker who is working on the field. That is how CEO at the top starts. The person who becomes the owner of the railroad company was dedicated to provide service. He was providing it as his next nature. He lived it. If there was shares being sold of that company, he would buy. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, this is the moment to make sure that you become part of the transformational process. Become part and parcel of Passioninfluencer team. When you are here, when you are watching it, make sure you subscribe. When you are watching this video, make sure you like it. Because by liking it, it gives you another opportunity, it takes you to another level. YouTube and social media actually go take you automatically. When you set into the system or to the web, it automatically defaults you to where you like, where you are frequented, and so on and so on. So by frequenting a site like transformational, whatever, you not only become a member of the transformational group, by befriending Passioninfluencer Africa channel, you are not only befriending Passioninfluencer Africa channel, you are befriending the thoughts which make Passioninfluencer Africa. You are becoming a part of the thinking which makes Passioninfluencer Africa. And you have seen probably those people who open their computers, open their laptops, and the only thing they start with is pornography. What happens? Well, anytime you open that their computer, even when they are away, you'll be shocked by what you're seeing, because Google has seen what their surfing preferences are. So anytime they are online, automatically they are defaulted or taken to such sites. I don't know what sites will be taken to by this default. I don't know what this, because that's what life is all about. If as you live here, so shall you be in heaven. If you're defaulted to be lazy,